Canada's immigration paradox: the hidden impact of non-permanent residents on housing, services, and policy. Canada's immigration story in 2025 isn't just about big numbers, it's about what lies beneath them. While headlines boast about welcoming 800,000 newcomers, the true net population growth is barely a fraction of that. From housing pressure and overstretched hospitals to immigration loopholes and shadow economies, we're diving deep into the hidden crisis reshaping Canada's cities and policies. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Canada is facing a mounting crisis, and it's not just about housing or healthcare. It's about the numbers behind the numbers. In early 2025, news headlines trumpeted the arrival of nearly 800,000 newcomers, a figure that startled Canadians already grappling with surging rents, overwhelmed hospitals, and packed classrooms. But the reality, according to Statistics Canada, paints a very different picture. While 685,400 of those arrivals were non-permanent residents, nearly 746,511 people left the country shortly after, resulting in a net population growth of just over 20,000. This startling disconnect between raw immigration numbers and actual population growth is skewing data, inflating demand metrics, and driving policies that may be missing the mark. Let's break down what's really happening and why it matters now more than ever. 1. The non-permanent resident surge, masking the real numbers. A huge proportion of new arrivals are non-permanent residents, a category that includes international students, temporary foreign workers, and refugee claimants. They are counted in population statistics upon arrival, yet their short stays often go untracked in reverse. This misalignment creates the illusion of rapid population growth, distorting projections and resource planning. While the federal government touts high immigration as a tool to offset labor shortages and economic stagnation, the revolving door reality of NPR's paints a different picture, one that leaves provinces and municipalities struggling to keep up with fluctuating demands. 2. Housing crisis and rental inflation, an unseen pressure. The influx of NPRs, particularly students and low-wage workers, has a direct and explosive impact on Canada's housing market. Rental costs in major cities have ballooned by up to 40%, with illegal subletting, overcrowded basements, and makeshift housing arrangements becoming alarmingly common. In one shocking case in Brampton, Ontario, a single-family home was found to be housing 28 international students crammed into just 6 rooms. These underground living conditions not only jeopardize safety and dignity but also create artificial housing scarcity. Landlords exploit vulnerable renters with little regulatory oversight, pushing out long-term residents and straining municipal housing programs. 3. Strain on education, healthcare, and infrastructure. School boards and health networks base their funding and staffing models on core population estimates, which typically underrepresent non-permanent residents. This results in overcrowded classrooms, long doctor waitlists, and emergency shelter shortages. Communities suddenly face spikes in demand without the corresponding financial or logistical support. Hospitals in major urban centers are reporting months-long wait times, while school districts scramble to find space and staff for an unexpected influx of children who were never counted in core funding models. Infrastructure, including transit systems and sanitation services, is under growing stress. 4. Immigration loopholes and the rise of visa mills. Another critical issue is the exploitation of immigration loopholes, particularly through the international student stream. Some private colleges, often labeled visa mills, prioritize high tuition fees from foreign students over educational quality. These institutions flood the system with students who may lack genuine academic intent or support structures, contributing to housing shortages and overburdened local services. These lax policies have turned education into a pathway for questionable immigration practices, often putting students in debt, under stress, or at risk of deportation when schools close or fail to meet immigration criteria. 5. Underground rentals and labor exploitation. A growing number of overstaying or undocumented migrants are funneled into Canada's informal economy. Jobs in construction, agriculture, and hospitality are often offered under the table, with no insurance, no worker protections, and often below minimum wage. These shadow jobs not only fuel wage suppression for all workers but also contribute to illegal housing arrangements, further tightening the rental market and making enforcement nearly impossible. 6. Federal versus provincial immigration planning, a ticking time bomb. Perhaps the most urgent challenge is the growing rift between federal immigration targets and provincial capacity. Provinces like Alberta are increasingly vocal, with Premier Danielle Smith demanding greater autonomy in selecting and managing immigrants based on regional economic needs and infrastructure capacity. The federal government's top-down approach, based on national targets rather than local realities, has led to a disjointed system, one where communities are left scrambling to accommodate populations they weren't prepared to receive. First CEC Express Entry draw of July invites 3,000 for Canadian PR. On July 8, 2025, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, held its first Express Entry draw of the month, issuing 3,000 invitations to apply, ITAs, for permanent residency under the Canadian Experience Class, CEC. This draw targeted candidates with a comprehensive ranking system, CRS, score of 518 or above, a slight drop from the previous cutoff of 521 on June 26. The draw is part of Canada's ongoing strategy under its 2025 to 2027 Immigration Levels Plan, which aims to welcome 124,680 permanent residents through Express Entry this year. Prioritizing CEC candidates allows Canada to retain individuals already contributing to its labor market in key sectors like technology, healthcare, and skilled trades. As of July 6, 2025, the Express Entry pool held over 256,000 candidates, with nearly 23,000 scoring between 501 and 600, indicating intense competition. Policy changes, such as the removal of job offer points in spring 2025, have shifted focus to language proficiency and Canadian work experience, making strategic profile building essential. To qualify for the CEC stream, applicants must have at least 1 year of skilled work experience in Canada within the last 3 years, meet minimum language proficiency levels, CLB 5 to 7, and be admissible to Canada. After receiving an ITA, applicants have 60 days to submit their documents and complete the application process, which typically takes 6 months. So far in 2025, IRCC has issued 15,850 ITAs in CEC-specific draws, with cutoffs ranging from 521 to 547. With continuing draws of 3,000 to 4,000 ITAs, scores in the 515 to 520 range are now becoming increasingly competitive. This latest draw offers renewed hope to skilled workers already in Canada. As immigration remains a critical component of the country's economic future, candidates are encouraged to improve their CRS scores through language tests, gaining more Canadian experience, or pursuing provincial nominee programs, PNPs. In an evolving immigration landscape, timing, preparation, and persistence are key. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.